Hello everyone, I'm Ankit and you're watching StudyIQ IAS English. Now yesterday, UPSC published its 2026 Prelims examinations result. Now, you have given that attempt, so what you did, you opened the result and your roll number, unfortunately, it wasn't there. Now suddenly you'll realize the fact that everyone around you has an opinion. Some say that you should study more, some say you should study differently, join this, join that, etc. etc. But before you listen to anyone, including me, you need to do one thing first. That is, take or undertake an honest diagnosis. Now, because the solution to this predicament of yours, that is, you have not cleared UPSC prelims, lies entirely on the fact on why were you not able to clear this exam. And this is precisely the point where most aspirants fail. They are never able to figure out what they should do and where they had done something wrong. And this is just a start. And if you fail to recognize this problem of yours, you'd start again and then fail again. So in the span of next few minutes, I'll give you a framework which will help you understand exactly what went wrong and what a structured comeback for a diligent, for an honest aspirant should look like. Let us start our today's discussion with this first section. This first section is what you have to do in the span of next 48 hours, that is next 2 days. Now this importantly tells you what not to do. Now please understand, you do not have to make any major decision in the first 48 hours because your brain, it is still processing the failure, it is still processing the grief, which makes it a very bad position or a very bad time for you to make an important decision. What you have to do here, you don't have to quit, but you also don't have to immediately enroll yourself in any kind of a coaching institute. Do not call your parents in that situation when you panic, because you will also give them the panic, and give yourself just 2 days. Now what you should do in the span of next 2 days, that is 48 hours, let me tell you. What you should do, go to the UPSC's official website and download their official answer key. Cross-check your marked answer against it and you'll be able to calculate your actual score as accurately as possible. Please note down the subjects which have costed you most marks, and please also note down the subjects where you have gotten most of the questions correctly. So this is what I call the diagnosis of the problem, and without undertaking this particular diagnostics, you should not move ahead in your UPSC preparation. Now there is a sure shot way of undertaking this diagnostic, which I call undertaking a forensic audit. Now most aspirants, you'd know, would skip this problem, but you do not have to do that. Now before everything else, you need to understand first of all, why haven't you cleared this exam? And broadly, among the aspirants, the failure of clearing this prelims examination can be either one of these 4 types. In the first type is where you have failed because of an awareness gap. Now, what is this awareness gap? Awareness gap is a situation where you don't know enough about the syllabus itself. Major aspects of the syllabus were either untouched or were underprepared by you. And this, please understand, is a problem of lack of good content. Right? So this is the first kind of a problem where students might have failed. The second problem is what I call is an accuracy gap. Now in accuracy gap, you knew most of the content, but you have marked answers wrongly. Now you've attempted the question in case when you weren't sure about it, and therefore you've gotten that option wrong. And this, please understand, is a problem of strategy and judgment. Right? Now let us come back to the third kind of a problem, which I call a comprehension gap. In this kind of a problem, you read the question which you have already prepared, but you couldn't decode what the question was trying to ask you. This is a problem which is undertaken or which happens due to lack of practice and lack of understanding the essence of the question. And the fourth problem is a problem of timing, because you were prepared for this exam, but you ran out of time and left too many options blank in your OMR sheet, or you might have panicked during the exam also, which might have delayed your solving the problem. Now this kind of a problem is what I call is a problem of temperament towards the exam. Now each of these problems have completely different solution. Trying to treat all of these problems by just studying hard is the most common mistakes that people who give their multiple attempts, they actually make it. So what should be your comeback plan? Let us understand your comeback plan. Now, when it comes to your comeback, building a strong comeback plan should be your priority. In the first step, you should try to fix your attempt window. For example, if you're a general category candidate, you are provided 6 attempts up till 32 years of age. So first of all, you have to know exactly how many attempts you have left, and you have the budget to give those attempts properly, not by desperation. So this is the first step. And with the second step, you decide on a timeline. With this timeline, you can understand the prelims of next year in 2027 is roughly 11 months away. And this is not at all a short period of time. This is an enough time if you are able to use this time structurally. So for your first month, you should undertake a deep content revision. What do I mean by deep content revision? You should first read NCERTs, then graduate to standard textbooks, and after you have completed these two, try to attempt PYQs in a very structured manner. Right? Now comes the months 4 to 6. In months 4 to 6, you should look to integrate test series and integrate all the different sources that you have prepared. Right? This will help you by, if you enroll in a good test series, integrate newspaper in your revision and practice answer elimination, which will help you ultimately in the UPSC exam. Now let us talk about months 7 to 9. And this month 7 to 9 is probably the most essential part of your UPSC preparation. Here, you are expected to attempt a full mock prelims test on a weekly basis, and this will help you iron out the weak areas in your preparation. Right? So you can understand this is a circular process. This is not a process that you have done once and you're done with. No. This you have to do continuously each and every week by at least attempting one test and all. Now, what about time afterward? This is the month 10, where actually you consolidate your preparation by revising and most importantly, conditioning your mind in order to follow this kind of a routine, right? So this is how your comeback plan should be, right? Now, let us understand how you should rebuild your base. Please understand, you do not have to just prepare from whatever you have started right now. You have to rebuild your base, and rebuilding your base is a very critical part of your reiterating towards your UPSC exam. And this is the mistake that most repeaters often make. They assume that their base is fine and they jump straight away into current affairs or test. Now, please understand, if your base has cracks in it, adding more floors only is going to make your building more vulnerable. So what you have to do, you have to go back to NCERT, you have to go back to the standard textbooks like Lakshmikant, like Spectrum, and you do not have to be anything ashamed about this. You have to look all of this content with a fresh set of eyes. Now let us talk about another trap which UPSC aspirants actually fall into. This is what I call is a CSAT trap, and this is often the most ignored trap that many students fall into. Now, most aspirants, they lose out on prelims not because they are not able to clear cutoff in GS paper 1, but because they are unable to qualify CSAT paper 2. Because most of the aspirants treat the CSAT paper as a formality because they think this paper only requires 33% of the correct answers, right? So what's so difficult about it? Now, if it was that the case, not many students would fail in CSAT, but is it the case? The answer is no, right? So what you have to do, you have to give a dedicated time for CSAT preparation, especially for reading comprehensions and especially for understanding the basic quantitative reasoning. Now, this problem, if you deal with it seriously, is quite fixable in just 2 months of time. That is, in the span of next 11 months, if you are able to give 60 days to this problem, your problem of CSAT will be addressed. But the point is, you have to give this problem its due time, right? Now comes to the part where most aspirants do not know that this is a challenge. This is called psychological reset. Now here somebody is going to tell you, or for that matter, nobody is going to tell you directly that UPSC failure is not about your intelligence. It is about how your preparation system is designed. Now you need to understand the essence of this examination. Why is UPSC conducting prelims examination. Prelims examination is conducted to filter out candidates, and their knowledge is not the criteria. What is the criteria? Consistency, adaptability, and strategic thinking under pressure is the criteria which makes the difference in the students clearing and not clearing this exam. Now, many of the India's capable people, they have been able to clear this UPSC prelims only in their third and fourth attempt, and you don't have to be the one in this region, right? Now, the question that many students ask themselves, am I smart enough for this exam? Or was it my failure of grasping the concepts that has resulted into your inability to clear this exam? Now, if you can answer this question honestly, you are ahead of most of the aspirants. Just ask yourself a question. Was my system that actually failed, or could I have built a better system in order to prepare for this exam? And this brings me to the conclusion of our today's discussion. Should you at all continue and decide to give one more attempt or not? This is a question that most of the students are afraid of asking themselves. Please understand, this kind of a question deserves a direct answer. Now, if you decide to continue only if you find the knowledge, the content for this exam intellectually engaging. It is not a job which you are forced to undertake. It is solely your decision to continue and not continue this preparation. If you have at least 2 to 3 attempts remaining and you're financially and emotionally able to sustain your preparation for another cycle, then you are the one who can attempt this exam again. And this process of your forensic audit, knowing where the things went wrong, what are the fixable problems, are your solution to identify your gaps and fulfill that gap in your next attempt cycle. Now, if you have attempted this exam for 4+ more times without any significant improvement, please be very honest with yourself. Your preparation has been consistently half-hearted, and the only reason you're continuing is because you'd fear what others will think of you. Now, both decisions to continue or to stop giving the UPSC exam can be made with dignity. Please understand, the worst outcome for you would be to continue and not continue without putting a due thought in it. Now, every person who has cleared UPSC has sat in the same chair that you're sitting right now. After at least one result that did not go their way, they have felt that it was their talent which has not let them clear this exam. But please understand, it is not their talent, but their consistency that has resulted in not clearing this exam. Now, it is the quality of your decision that you're going to make in the next 30 days will depend whether you are able to react to this situation or you're able to respond to this situation. Now, if you react to this situation, you'll spend the next year doing most probably the same thing that you are doing right now, but only a bit more harder. But I'd want you to not react, rather respond to this. And you will be spending the next year in doing the right thing in a much more smarter way. So the decision entirely rests with you. Now, if you decide to respond, I have one very good option for you. This is what you actually need right now. That is, you need to build your solid foundation. You need to understand the concepts in a way that they should be understood, they should be connected, and most importantly, applied in order to get your questions right. And this is exactly the gap that a structured foundation course is designed to close. Not just content coverage, but everything or the thinking that UPSC expects you to have, we will reward you with that thinking. Now, a good foundation course acts as a bridge. It takes your standard textbook knowledge and it teaches you how the exam thinks, which options UPSC likes you to eliminate, which framing it usually uses in its questions, how static and current affairs are merged in order to form a question. And to undertake all of that, you have an option to join StudyIQ's P2I foundation courses. Now, this is a structured course which is designed exactly to fill the gap, which is the very reason why you're watching this video. Please understand, you are not a beginner at all. You do not have to start your preparation from a zero. What you have to understand is you have to build a solid foundation. And the aspirants who have a reading base, but they need an exam aligned understanding layer to be built on top of it, you'd get this when you enroll yourself in StudyIQ courses. Please understand these courses are offered in smart model. In smart model, you are given structured classes, mentorship would help you solve your doubts. You're given a dashboard which helps you assess your preparation minutely, topic by topic. And if you find those gaps, which you will eventually, you have to revise those topics again and give test. And this is how you hone your skills in order to clear this exam. Now, right now we are offering Aram offer, that is 50% off on all the courses, and this is a limited time period offer. If you want to take admissions to it, just go to our website, and if you apply this code ATS Live, I'm sure you're gonna get even more discounts. Please remember, this is a limited time period offer, and if you miss out on this cycle, you're going to end up paying much more for the same course, right? So this is all from my side for today. Please understand, this is the fundamental problem. To understand that fundamental problem, you'll have to go through the cycle which I have recommended in this video. I hope this video has helped you. If you need any more help, please call on the number which is flashing on the bottom half of the screen, and we sure would be very happy to help you in achieving the goals that you have set in your mind. So this is all from my side for today. Please have a very good day.